Hi everyone, this is Kevin here, and this is my hands-on and first impressions video of the Moto G8 Plus. So this is actually a phone that I've been meaning to get for quite a while now. The device was launched in October of 2019, which was pretty strange considering that the full Moto G8 lineup still hasn't been completely launched yet. I know we have the Moto G stylus coming out very soon. There's also a Moto G8 Power coming out soon as well. So I wanted to get the Moto G8 Plus to compare to those other devices when they are launched. But also in the meantime, over the last several months, the Moto G8 Plus has really climbed the charts over on Amazon, and it's now one of their most popular unlocked smartphones. So this phone is certainly a pretty noteworthy device. Now, I did buy the device for around $200 on Amazon, of course, and check out the link in the video description to see the most up-to-date pricing. It seems like every other day or so, they're slightly adjusting the price for one reason or another. Now, this is the GSM factory unlocked variant of the phone. It's the international variant, so it doesn't support Sprint or Verizon, and it is a dual SIM device, which is really awesome. Now, before I show you more about the actual phone itself, let's just go over what all we get in the box. So here is the box that the phone does come in. You can see right there, Moto G8 Plus. Still a really strange thing to see considering that the regular Moto G8 isn't even available yet. And then you can see on the back of the box another photo of the device itself. And then we also have some various highlights on the side of the box. In the box, we do have a clear plastic case. So nice to see that this is included. Then let's get a little bit deeper here and see what else we get. Looks like we have a packet. And in that packet, we have some literature. So there is a Moto G8 Plus quick start guide. We also have what looks to be a warranty card. And then we do have a SIM card removal tool. So again, don't forget, this is the international variant of the phone. So of course it will work really well on all GSM carriers in the US, but this phone is meant to be sold all over the world. We have a 15-watt turbo power charger included in the box, and we have a USB-C cable for charging and data transfer. So here is the phone itself, of course. Now with the device, we are getting a 6.3-inch display. The display itself is LCD, so not AMOLED, which is a bit unfortunate, but we are getting a 1080p display. We're getting a PPI of 400. We're getting a 19:9 aspect ratio, and we're getting an 82.5% screen to body ratio. So this design does look a little bit more like a 2019 design compared to a 2020 design, because a lot of the new phones in 2020 feature a hole punch in the display instead of having a notch at the top. And also the bottom bezel on the phone is a little bit on the thicker side as well. But all in all, I think it is a pretty decent looking phone. And like I said, I mean, it's more of a 2019 design, but the phone itself still does look really nice. Now up top here, we do have a 25 megapixel front-facing camera. The device features 64 gigabytes of internal storage. And if that's not enough for you, you can also put a micro SD card in the phone. There is no wireless charging with the device. And on the back of the phone, we do have a fingerprint sensor. So that is very nice and convenient, and it's very fast and responsive. We also get face unlock with the phone, which is really nice as well. Now on the back of the device, we have a triple camera setup. So we have a 48 megapixel main camera, a 16 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and a 5 megapixel depth sensing camera. I'm not sure what the purpose of this circle right here is for, but it's nothing. It's not a camera, it's nothing at all. So this phone does have a triple camera setup. Now I'm really looking forward to going outside and taking a bunch of photo and video samples with the device. Now, one thing that's kind of strange is that even though the device does feature an ultra wide angle camera, there is no way to take regular photos with that camera. The ultra wide angle camera is only for video purposes. So basically, if you put it in action cam mode, which is this mode, you can record with the ultra wide angle camera. Another interesting feature though, which I actually like quite a bit, you can actually record horizontal video by having the phone vertical. So I know that a lot of people instinctively will record video with their phone in this form factor, but you can see that even though I'm doing that, I'm able to record video in a standard 16:9 format. Now taking video in this mode does use that ultra wide angle camera. You can see, for example, I'm kind of limited on autofocus here with that, but if you do want to switch over to the standard camera, You can do that as well. And then you can, of course, flip things over too. And that works really well and does look really good. But that is kind of a strange thing, though, with the ultra wide angle camera, that you're not able to actually use it to take photos. I feel like Motorola could implement a software update to change that so that it is able to take photos. But as of right now, I haven't heard anything about them doing that. Now you can take portrait mode photos with both the front and rear cameras, which is really cool. And internally with the phone, we're getting 4 gigabytes of RAM and the Qualcomm Snapdragon 665. Now I did run an Antutu benchmark test with the phone and I got an overall score of 170703. So that's a really solid score. And what that means is that this phone is going to perform very well for the majority of people out there. Now, if you are a power user that typically uses more advanced devices, such as the Galaxy S20, for example, then stick with that $1,000 phone. This is going to be a slower device for sure, but it's also a fraction of the price. Now, you can record 4K video with the rear camera, which is really awesome, but you are limited to 1080p video with the front camera. Now, the Moto G8 Plus features a beefy 4,000 milliamp hour internal battery, and we are getting 15 watt fast charging. And the software on here is Android 9 Pie, and it's a near stock version of the software. In fact, the only bloatware that I can see that's on here is the Facebook app. Otherwise, I added Instagram and Twitter on my own, but it's a pretty clean, nice experience here. And overall, I'm a big fan of how Motorola implements the software on their devices. It's always a really nice, refined, stock Android experience. And I wish more companies would offer that. Now, there are, of course, a couple of different things that I am frustrated about. The first one, of course, is that the phone still does have Android 9 Pie, despite it now being April of 2020. So that's pretty ridiculous that they haven't updated the phone to Android 10 yet, especially considering that the G8 Plus is one of their newest devices that they've put out. And to make matters worse, you can see that the security patch is still at the January 1st, 2020 security patch. Now, other companies such as Samsung have been really good about, at the very least, providing the most up-to-date security patch. And that's certainly something that I would expect to see from Motorola, but unfortunately we're not getting. But let's cross our fingers that we will be getting the Android 10 update very soon. I, of course, can live with Android 9 Pie perfectly fine. None of the improvements with Android 10 really help me personally. Now for you, you might want to think about it and see if Android 10 really is important. But in general, Android 9 Pie is adequate for me. I think it's really more out of principle that they are taking forever to update the phone to Android 10. And in addition to that, having an older security patch on the phone. But I've seen worse, that's for sure. But like I said, I expect a lot from Motorola because they're a great company and they make great products. Now, taking a closer look at the hardware here, of course, I talked already a lot about the display. I do think it's a really good looking display. You know, despite it being an LCD display, I think it looks really nice overall. So I am a big fan of it. And even this design, of course, having the more 2019 Android device design with the notch at the top and the thicker bottom bezel, I think it still looks really nice, and I think for many people this will be perfectly adequate. It is a very large display, of course, at 6.3 inches, so I certainly don't think that it's a coincidence that this phone is currently one of the most popular unlocked Android phones on Amazon. Now, taking a look at the left side of the device, we do have the slot for the micro SD card and SIM cards. Then on the right side of the phone, we have the power button and volume button. Then on the top, we have the noise-canceling microphone and 3.5mm headphone jack. Then on the bottom of the device, we have the microphone, speaker, and we have the USB-C port for charging and data transfer. And then on the back of the device, we have the camera module, flash, and fingerprint sensor. I also like this gradient look on the back of the Moto G8 Plus. I think that looks really nice in general, so I'm definitely a big fan of it. If you like using Instagram, then I think you're really gonna like the Moto G8 Plus. It does perform really well, so scrolling is extremely smooth. You can zoom in with no issues at all. You can easily swipe over, and you can take videos and photos and all kinds of content for your social media feeds. You can go up to the top, of course, look at your different stories and see what's going on here. So a lot of good stuff with the Moto G8 Plus. Really a nice, refined Android experience that I think many people will find to be very fantastic. Essentially, these are phones that have been either returned or they were previously. So this phone is great for viewing video content. Videos really do pop on this 1080p display, But another really nice thing too is that we are getting a dual speaker setup here. So we do have a speaker at the top of the device and also of course on the side. So kind of more of a surround sound type of experience. Now they did partner up with Dolby Audio to fine-tune the speakers on the device. So that is one of the reasons why the sound quality is so good from the phone. So if you are one of those people that likes to maybe take a shower and play music in the background with your device, then I certainly think the Moto G8 Plus is a phone that you should consider. But overall, my first impressions of the Moto G8 Plus are really good. And by the way, if you want to watch more content about this phone, in addition to the content that I've created so far and will be creating in the future, then check out my friend Gadget Beard. He's actually had the Moto G8 Plus for a long time now, and he's been making a lot of content about it too. So it's always good to get information from multiple content creators to really see a wide variety of opinions about this device and of course other devices as well. And if you do want to pick up the Moto G8 Plus for yourself, then take a look at the link in the video description. This has been a very popular phone so far and for a really good reason. So it's certainly not a coincidence that it has been so successful. But again, this is the Moto G8 Plus. Thanks again for watching. Give this video a like. Follow me on Instagram at KevinBreezeTV, and I will see you in the next video.